You know, I was always taught that when trying to give constructive criticism, you always want to present it in a compliment sandwich. You want to start off by giving the person a piece of bread, or the compliment, and then all the fillings, aka the constructive criticism, all the while ending it with another piece of bread, or another compliment.
My Discord server is not intended to be a hookup site. It's not a dating app.
Okay, I mean, his voice is actually pretty nice.
It's not there for you to come and chat to girls and like meet up and try and steal my girls as well.
I have a feeling this is gonna be a very tall sandwich. Welcome to the... Bro, I don't even know if we can call this a light side of the internet anymore. Welcome to the side of the internet, I guess. Some people's YouTube channels are like the Shinkansen. It's fast, it's efficient, and it gets you where you need to go in a timely manner. Some people's YouTube channels are like Uber. You may only search for one when you really need it, and half the time you could barely understand them, but they get the job done, and they're doing their best. And some YouTube channels are like a 20-car pileup on the freeway that nobody can seem to take their eyes off of. And let me tell you, if you're into 20-car pileups, have I got the YouTube channel for you. No, not me. That's hurtful, man. Daniel Lord is a YouTuber with a channel called Hiding in My Room, which is a pretty apt description because hiding in my room is what I wanted to do after watching 30 seconds of any video of his.
So my ex-girlfriend, her uncle died. She wanted me to come with her to give her support, and I didn't really want to go, to be honest, because I just wanted to stay at home in Bangkok to focus on my YouTube stuff and my other things. So I was kind of upset that she was judging me when she doesn't really understand the full story or the full picture. And in order to defend myself, I kind of had to say some not very nice things about my mum. The most annoying thing about real women compared to not real women is the fact that women, like everyone else, they have their own lives and they have their own problems in their lives. For example, if they get in some kind of accident, like a car crash, and then they have to go to hospital, it's just extremely annoying for me. And if they're in the hospital, obviously they are okay because they got nurses and doctors looking after them.
Ah, yes. Hospitals. The place where you only go if you're 100% totally fine. He's fine. His content primarily consists of him complaining about how his life, the women in his life, his viewers, and honestly, how everyone in general is against him.
I'm getting kind of sick and tired of constantly being bashed and criticized for not caring about people.
And then doing a complete 180 and describing in detail about how everyone is justified in criticizing him.
I'm just gonna come out and say it, that I don't really care about anyone but myself.
Look, I am no psychologist, but if TikTok University has taught me anything, it's that this is a textbook case of antisocial personality behavior, otherwise known as being a sociopath. Daniel knows the intellectual difference between right and wrong. He just doesn't care. And from what he's saying, it seems like he has a complete inability to feel empathy and only cares about himself.
I'm just not really going to genuinely actually care about anyone's life or their problems or their dreams and aspirations or struggles they're going through in life. I'm just gonna be like, oh yeah, I guess that's cool.
So basically, Daniel is a house cat. I was first introduced to Daniel through his video, Why Women Are Impossible to Date. I'm going gay. And to that I say, you think women are impossible to date? Have you tried dating men? It's not pleasant. From what I hear.
I'm just a bit fed up with dating and all the constant fighting and the drama, and I want some peace and quiet in my life.
Honestly valid. Wanting peace and quiet, I can respect that. Dating is hard. It's a lot of mental bandwidth to try to find that right person.
And they expect you to care about their problem. So if they're having a problem and you don't show interest or you don't show like you're willing to have a shoulder for them to lean on, to cry on, then they get very upset.
Oh no. It's not that you haven't found the right person. It's just that you're the wrong person for everyone else. Yes, contrary to unpopular belief, everyone has problems and are probably more inclined to have a partner that offers them a shoulder to lean on when they need it. That's why the song goes, lean on me when you're not strong, and not lean on me, but only when I want you to, because I only see you as a human flashlight, and like honestly, I don't know why anyone would ever care about themselves. I have no idea why. Oh, I can't hold down a woman. Yeah, that was gonna be my last take. I don't normally like making videos about individual people because so often it just becomes bashing that individual with no route to self-improvement. But Daniel clearly needs help. And as someone who does try to promote positive masculinity, I wanted to make a video that might make Daniel reconsider some of his core beliefs. Unfortunately, because it seems like he has an inability to think rationally and feel empathy, I can't really dissect all of this in a rational manner. So what I'm gonna do today is deconstruct and critique his beliefs in order to find glaring contradictions within his own worldview. I have to become the sociopath. I will channel my inner only child. I am a literal god. Time to scoop Taco's poop. You see, after watching too many of Daniel's videos, I've narrowed down his belief systems to 3 main mantras. No matter what I do, it's always somebody else's fault. Everybody only does things out of their own self-interest. And finally, I'm a good person. As you can see, as a rational human being, one of these is not like the other. Oh my God, Jesus Christ, Taco, what are you eating? So let's break down the first one. No matter what I do, everything is someone else's fault. In his video, 3 Things That Ruined My Life, he covers a bunch of the financial mistakes that have set him back.
As a 35-year-old man, I've made a lot of mistakes in life, and it would have been nice if there was someone in my life who would have given me some advice, gave me some warnings, said to me, Daniel, I think you need to stop because this is very dangerous what you're doing and it's not a very good idea.
It's a strong start because he's trying to give advice that he never got when he was younger, which on the onset seems like a very wholesome thing to do if you ignore the fact that literally everyone was telling him that he was making stupid decisions. What's even funnier is his first piece of advice is paying your taxes. What?
And I didn't really think about paying taxes. I didn't even consider the fact that I even had to pay any taxes. I paid a tiny bit because I thought I might pay a little bit, you know, it's fair, but I didn't realize I had to pay tax on all of my earnings.
Look, I don't want to sound like I'm elitist or anything, but I'm pretty sure that everyone knows that they have to pay their taxes. There's only 2 things in life that are inevitable: death and taxes. But then again, he said he felt like a god, so maybe he thought he can get away with the second one as well.
You've never experienced having so much money before. You feel like you're invincible, like you're a god.
Bill. You know, I honestly wish I could die right now.
Back when my YouTube was doing very well, apparently according to them, obviously through no fault of my own, I underreported my earnings.
What do you mean through no fault of your own? Brother, then whose fault was it? Why are you back here? The skit is over. Oh, you're talking about that guy? Ah, Jesus Christ. What's up, Daddy-O? Not you. Look, it's your money that you are earning. It's your responsibility to know the law, and ignorance of the law is no excuse. Maybe next time use some of these resources to help inform yourself so you can properly budget for taxes next time. And that's something that today's sponsor can help him with. Rocket Money. Managing your finances is never an easy task, but as someone who has majored in accounting and worked 3 years as a reformed finance bro, you can definitely say I'm a freak in the sheets. Not these sheets. You can take my index match off of my cold, dead body. But it's hard to be consistent manually entering all of your expenses into a spreadsheet all the time. I mean, have you ever had to enter what you spent on a night out? I'd rather be a finance bro again. Fortunately for you, Rocket Money is here to help. Rocket Money makes personal finances easy and automated, helping you manage your subscriptions, lower your bills, and grow your savings, all from the convenience of their app. Being a YouTuber means that my income is probably as volatile as Rhydonia. Huff the Rhido, my boy! So I love using Rocket Money to create a customized budget in seconds. That way, I know exactly where all my money is going to at all times. And I also know what spending categories I need to pull back on. Ignore that. Additionally, Rocket Money will help me keep track of all my subscriptions, so I can easily cancel them whenever within the app in just a few taps. Rocket Money may even be able to help you get a refund for some of those subscriptions, obviously so you can buy more Labubu's. So what are you waiting for? Take control of your finances and go to rocketmoney.com/RayLikeSunshine to get started for free. Thank you to Rocket Money for sponsoring today, and let's get back to the video. The funny thing is, he actually shows some semblance of self-awareness in his 3 Things That Ruined My Life video.
So what I'm thinking of is, instead of wasting the money or using the money like I did to chase women by buying plane tickets, you could have used that money to invest in yourself, and that would make you look more attractive as a man, and then you would just naturally attract a woman.
Okay, Based King. Maybe if you kept his energy up, you'll find a healthy relationship, girl.
And I was quite shocked and upset that she wrote this very long comment about me, basically just bashing me as she remembered when she was a kid, and she can't believe that I treat my family so horrible. So I was kind of upset.
You see, even though Daniel actively doesn't care about anyone other than himself, he still wants someone to care about him. His ideal of a relationship is not one of symbiotic growth, but of a leech, which is ironic because he has said multiple times in many videos that he's not a leech.
If you think there are selfless good deeds and you want to prove me wrong, then just send me some money on PayPal. You'll get nothing out of it. I'll financially gain and you'll financially suffer. And then to also call me a parasite is just so bizarre. I really don't understand why so many people think I'm a leech.
You cannot tell viewers to give you money for no return, which, by the way, is where you get a good chunk of your income nowadays, and then say you're not a leech in the same fucking breath. That's just... what? Okay, sorry, I'm getting distracted. In fact, this is, in his own words, his ideal relationship.
My ideal relationship would be, I would be able to meet up with any woman that I would like to whenever I wanted to. And then I would have a main woman and she would only be able to see me.
I just thought we had something special, man. I know, but he just sucks better. Sorry. Also, like, aren't you literally sucking someone else? Nuh-uh. Exactly. He wants someone to give him attention while sacrificing nothing of his own. He wants a relationship that he only has to show with his words that he cares, but doesn't actually want to do any of the actions that show he cares. Which, by the way, words without actions are just empty platitudes. I think I learned that in like the first grade or something. And he wants a partner that lets him be with anyone he wants to be with, but must stay loyal to him. I usually wouldn't recommend this route to anybody. However, hello, my name is Elder Ray, and I would like to share with you the most amazing book. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can a guy like this ever find anyone to date? And let me tell you, that is a great question. I have no idea either. Daniel has actually successfully jumped from relationship to relationship for almost 5 consecutive years now, with every single one ending... well, actually, let's hear his take on it.
I've had a few girlfriends up until now, and every single one of my girlfriends basically dumped me.
Yes, in the video titled How I Got Dumped by Every Girlfriend I've Ever Had, which also happened to win the award for the weirdest capitalization choices ever.
And I could sense they were about to dump me, so before they could dump me, I did a preemptive strike and I walked out on them before they had the chance to dump me.
He did a preemptive strike on his girlfriends. Brother, we've moved past avoidant attachment style and we've gone straight to war crimes. And while maybe he didn't pick up on this, using this type of language is very telling of his view of relationships. In his mind, it's a me versus them mentality. But unfortunately, every healthy relationship is a we versus them mentality. Like, if I want a sweet treat, we want a sweet treat. And the thing is, David does want a healthy relationship, but he's just never experienced a healthy relationship ever in his life, so he has no compunction of what that's like. And the thing is, he actually does subscribe to the we versus them mentality. It's just that his we versus them is, if you're hurt in a car accident, but I'm fine, well then we're fine. In fact, his search for a girlfriend even took him to the point where he started a Discord server for his fans just so he could flirt with them. Yeah. Deadass. In his video, Why I Slept With My Viewer in Japan, he chronicles how he had to ban a certain user from his Discord server because he was quote unquote creeping on the girls on the server.
So he basically DMs every single girl in the Discord server, and I've had girls message me saying, this guy, he's sending me creepy messages. I would kind of expect someone who claims to be my friend to not also go for the same girls. You've got to give me some respect and leave those girls alone, because I've claimed them and they're interested in me and I'm interested in them.
Brother, you should really start hitting the gym, because I need you to understand what irony is. So he basically spends the entire video mad at this one guy for doing exactly what he's doing. And as someone with a non-insignificant platform online, I think I speak for all rational creators that you should never, ever mix your romantic life and your fan base. First of all, it's predatory. Because there's always going to be an uneven power dynamic that leaves the fan exposed to being exploited. Second of all, because of the inherent parasocial factor that comes with having a platform, there's already going to be a one-sided emotional investment, which is never a great foundation for any relationship. And third of all, it's just straight up unprofessional. While I love doing what I do and it is my passion, at the end of the day, YouTube is still just a job. And like any boy who has a boy bathroom, don't eat where you shit. What I'm saying basically, Daniel, just download a dating app like the rest of us normies. Oh, you can't because you got carpet banned from all of them for posting a dick pic as one of your profile pictures.
I'm kind of banned from all the dating apps because a long time ago, I put my willy as my profile picture and I thought it was funny. I didn't really think.
Yes, and apparently he's the victim and not the hundreds of actual victims that he, by definition of the law, sexually harassed. A lot of his behavior in life can be explained by his second worldview. Everybody only looks out for themselves. This is a mantra that Daniel constantly uses to justify his selfish behavior.
Everything everyone does is for their own gain. Life is really short. We don't have much time here. Why would you waste your precious time doing things where you don't gain anything from? That's just kind of stupid. And every person I meet, I'm only doing it because I'm expecting or seeking something very specific.
Daniel has made it very clear that he does not want to lift a finger to help anybody unless it directly benefits himself. And he projects this onto everybody that has ever existed ever. The thing is, philosophically speaking, I don't necessarily disagree that everyone only does something because it benefits themselves one way or another. For example, volunteers probably feel good for volunteering, and that's why they do it. And for most people, pursuing altruistic actions does benefit them in intangible ways, like feels, or improving one's mental health, or doing actions that align with their beliefs. But Daniel isn't like that. Daniel doesn't do intangibles. You see, guys, Daniel is a responsible accountant. He's like a utility company with only hard assets and only giving away his valuable energy to those who pay. The rest of us are like a charity, offering our services to anybody who walks in our doors, like some sort of corporate harlot. Yeah. Keep it coming. Suck my EBITDA. So what baffles me is that despite openly admitting that he will do nothing to care about anybody unless it's directly for himself, and the fact that he thinks that everyone operates on the same wavelength, why does he expect anyone else to care about him back?
And in order to defend myself, I kind of had to say some not very nice things about my mum. And my mum found out about it. And also my mum didn't even wish me a happy birthday on my birthday because she was still mad at me, and she's actually still mad at me now.
Because in a video he posted in 2023, he very clearly wants friends.
But you know, it can be a lonely existence just being alone all the time, and I don't really want to be alone. I would like to have friends and a girlfriend and relationships with people.
Daniel clearly is very lonely, and he very much desires connection, like genuine connection with real people. I think anyone does. I think it's fair. And I do think that's something that warrants our sympathy towards him. His brain fully rationalizes that the things he's doing are not objectively good, but it's almost as if he can't help but just not prioritize anyone except for himself. And yet, he still seeks that connection.
I don't have any friends because I don't care about having friends. I don't need friends. I'm too busy to have friends. I've got stuff to do. I've got a job. I've got my stock trading to do to keep me busy that I'm trying to learn as a new skill. I've got my YouTube channel to manage. I've got videos to make, streams to do. I've got food to cook.
And the speech was just getting good. Oh, all right, never mind then. Back to the shenanigans.
I don't have time to have friends and hang around doing nothing, drinking beers at the bar like I've got no life. I've got things going in my life.
Whoa, God forbid a man just wants to crack a cold one open with the boys once in a while. This is actually just a poppy. I don't know if I'm actually allowed to drink on YouTube. Also, I don't like drinking that much either. Daniel, I'm sorry to say, the things you listed are things that most people do. And while most people don't do YouTube, you do spend quite literally hours every single day streaming while doing nothing but sitting in a chair and half-heartedly talking to the people in your chat. You spend probably hours trying to flirt with women in your own Discord server. And let's be real. You don't have the discipline or the mental fortitude to become a successful day trader. This is coming from someone who has literally worked in finance and has made money day trading. And as a YouTuber that spends at least 60 to 70 hours a week working, works out, has hobbies, and trades stocks, you absolutely do have time to make friends.
I would keep trying to prove that I care by saying that I care, but you can only say I do care a certain amount of times before they just don't believe you, and I don't want bad things to happen to you.
No, babe, I do care. I care about myself.
And I don't want you to get hit by a car and go to hospital because that'd be really annoying for me.
Oh my God, he literally just said the same exact thing. Oh, maybe we're on the same wavelength. I don't know. I could be friends with this guy.
Isn't that in a way caring about your well-being?
No, Daniel. Thinking only about how something will negatively affect you is not the same as caring about someone. Feeling annoyed instead of empathy when your friend or girlfriend gets hurt makes you objectively a selfish person. Recently, when one of my good friends passed out suddenly and had to be sent to the ER, my first reaction was not, oh no, guess my plans with him on the weekend are canceled, boo-hoo me. No, it was, hey man, which hospital are you at? Me and the boys are gonna come check on you to make sure you're okay. And I know what Daniel's gonna say. Oh, but Ray Like Sunshine benefited from it because it made him feel good. And to that I say, yeah, it made me feel good, because doing things altruistically is scientifically proven to have mental and psychological benefits. Not everything has to benefit me in a tangible way. And here's kind of a crash course on human psychology or common sense. Most of the time, people do not give a rat's ass of whether or not you benefited from stepping up. They only care that you stepped up.
They don't put any efforts into trying to understand why I do horrible things. I don't do horrible things for zero reason. I have my reasons. It's just that most people don't really seem to care about my reasons.
And as a direct, very up parallel, people don't think you're a horrible person because of the reasons behind the horrible things you did. They think you're a horrible person because you do horrible things. Do you think the galaxy cares that the Empire blew up Alderaan just because Grand Moff Tarkin wanted to out-diva Leia? No! They care that they blew up Alderaan. And the most frustrating thing is, I think that Daniel actually believes that he's a good person. In fact, I don't think that, I do actually know that, because he made a video titled, Why I'm a Better Person Than You.
I'm not such a bad person, and actually I'm a pretty good person, so let's get started.
Okay, but let's hear him out first. Reason number one. He doesn't drive.
Number one, I don't drive. And a lot of people say things like, oh, what a loser. He doesn't know how to drive an automobile. Yeah, let's get all 7 billion people on the planet their own cars and let them all contribute more pollution to the atmosphere. No, I'm not going to learn how to drive. I never will. And you should be thanking me for not adding to the pollution, to the traffic.
Okay, so you know that 88% of the world doesn't actually drive, but I digress. Using his logic, he is currently better than 12% of the world. So he's like in the bottom quartile of how good people are. Never mind the people who need cars to provide for their families or stuff like that. Reason number two, he doesn't go to the hospital.
Number two, I don't smoke and I don't drink, and I'm pretty healthy. I have a healthy lifestyle. They end up costing the NHS, and they end up using all these medicines and public resources that wouldn't need to be used if they were just, you know, a little bit more careful. I have never been to the hospital.
He has a healthy lifestyle, guys. He doesn't smoke, he doesn't drink, he's not a leech on the NHS. I guess that's fair. You know, he's a good person by the virtue of existing. People with chronic illnesses or medical emergencies outside of their control, have they considered just getting better? Assholes. Reason number three, he lives with his mom.
If I moved out, it would be like this entire place is wasted if only one person lived here. And the UK already has a housing shortage.
I don't even have a joke for this one. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Reason number four.
Number four, I have never physically harmed anyone apart from this kid in school I punched in the face. I've never murdered anyone.
Give this man a medal. He has never committed murder. At least I've never killed anybody is the literal last line of defense of not even proving you're a good person, but just proving that you're not a complete monster. Of all the reasons that I've heard of people trying to justify why they're a better person than someone else, and I say that like it's a frequent occurrence, I want to just be very clear here. That is not a normal thing to do. Not being a murderer is probably the dumbest I've ever heard.
Number 5, I'm gonna have to use heavy code words. I don't use rubber duckies when I eat my cereal.
Oh, I was so wrong. I take back what I just said. What? You're a better person than us because you don't use condoms?
Yeah, well, do you know how much plastic is in the ocean? Do you know how dangerous all this plastic consumption is for the environment and nature?
I'm sorry, but 3 of the 5 justifications you gave us of why you're a better person than everyone else is for environmental reasons. What do you think consumes more resources? A baby, which on average will consume 3.02 million pounds of minerals, metals, and fuels over the course of its lifetime, or the piece of latex that is meant to prevent the 3.02 million pounds of minerals being consumed. And I know you're not using 3.02 million pounds of condoms. You don't use them at all. Not to mention the fact that condoms are used to prevent very avoidable diseases so you don't have to become a leech on the NHS. Well, I guess it's too late then. Oh, and I know I already drove in my point, but he also owns a car now. I know it's electric. Then still have a carbon footprint. Look, there's a whole rabbit hole of the things that he has done that I quite frankly just don't want to get into because I feel like I've sacrificed my and my researchers' mental health enough already. But Daniel, if you're watching this, I may not be as big as the other channels that have already covered you. So you might not even respect what I'm saying just because of that. But I will be the one to be straight up with you. I get that you had a tough childhood and have been ostracized from a young age. I think I can understand and empathize with that more than anyone else. I too know what it was like to be emotionally stunted and not provided the affirmations that children so desperately need. But quite frankly, I don't actually know you as a person. I can only make assumptions on what you choose to show the world. From what I've seen in your videos, your constant need to explain and justify your shitty actions tells me that you don't inherently understand why the world sees you as they do. Your fans and haters don't care about why you do shitty things. They care that you do shitty things, period. Good people do good things consistently, but most importantly, they actively avoid doing bad things. If you do bad things, the world will only see you as a bad person. It is what it is. Or rather, it thinks what it thinks. I don't know if you're actually a sociopath. I don't even think you know whether you're a sociopath or not. If you're not, which I truly hope you aren't, then there is actual scientific evidence that says that doing good things and pursuing altruistic actions will have an overwhelming positive benefit on your psychological and mental well-being. But if you are, there are still pathways to realign your belief systems. There are medications for potential underlying conditions. There's psychotherapy, cognitive behavioral therapy. There is a road that will lead you to a happier and less lonely life. I think I'm forgetting something. Oh, right, the last piece of bread. You have nice sweaters. Yeah. Anyways, if you're still here, thank you so much for watching. Here's a picture of Taco for enduring this with me. And I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.